All right, with us until 5 after the first little segment of the next hour is Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, then high-level CIA analyst, the man who briefed Ronald Reagan and George W. Bush every morning, key, quote, CIA White House focal officer. That's what Fletcher Prouty did between the Pentagon and the CIA. Key person on what's happening in North Korea and Iran, joining us for the last 52 minutes of the next hour. Doc, for people watching on prisonplanet.tv, I'm going to give them a document cam shot of this. For radio listeners, the headline is CIA Unit's Wacky Idea Depicts Saddam Hussein as Gay. And it's Spy Talk, Jeff Stein, a little propagandist. But in the seventh paragraph, they just let it slip out. The agency actually did make a video purporting to show Osama bin Laden and his cronies sitting around a campfire swigging bottles of liquor and savoring their conquest with boys. One of the former CIA officers recalled chuckling at the memory. The actors were drawn from some of the darker-skinned employees, he said. Now, I asked Dr. Roberts during the break, because, I knew the answer, but I wanted to get his take just to see if he concurred. Why are they doing this, Doc? Why are they admitting they're growing opium in Afghanistan and have our troops on TV saying they do it? Why are they admitting, saying that they killed the same al-Qaeda leader 14, 15 times, never retract the last time they killed him? Why are they now just admitting the bin Laden tapes are fake? And he gave the answer that I agree with. Dr. Roberts, tell folks why.
Well, I think, Alex, what they're doing, they're showing us that that they have immunity, that they can do whatever they want. They can do it openly, and they can lie to us openly. And they can tell us that they commit crimes, and yet they don't suffer any consequences. I think they're getting us accustomed and used to the fact that they can do whatever they want and even admit it, and that we just have to sort of not notice and accept the fact that they are unaccountable and can do whatever they want. So it just makes you accept the culture of lies, and it makes the people realize that they're powerless. That here's the government that lies to us, and then admits it lies to us, and then goes on and lies to us some more, and then admits it some more. And it's just kind of a way of showing the people that they don't count.
I'll expand on that, though. There was a city employee, John Villarreal, who went to Huntsville for 3 years. And I confirmed the city employee was stealing money and trying to shut down Access TV 5 years ago now. So I secretly recorded him, put private investigators on him, because that's where I started out. I wasn't doing a show there anymore, but I wanted to keep it alive. And he came to me, and I didn't have a camera rolling. I was coming out of the bathroom at the Telecommunications Commission downtown. He was waiting for me in the hall, and I had my camera guy inside for the commission. And he walked over, and he shoved me in the chest. And he said, "You bet I stole the money, and I'm going to kill you, and you're never going to stop me." And I said, "That's a threat. I'm going to send your ass to prison." Excuse my French, folks. And I did send him to prison. So it's also kind of a bravado they do, like, yeah, we made the fake tapes. Yeah, we did it all. So what? So I don't think they're invincible, and there is a wake-up call happening, but I'm afraid they're going to start wars, Dr. Roberts, as the smokescreen for what they're doing.
Well, I'm certainly going to start more wars. There's no doubt about that. Let's just hope they don't get a nuclear war going with Russia.
Well, we know Cheney now, it's come out, really did want to start a war with them, and his whole 888 thing.
Well, that's been the whole neocon line for years. They've wanted a nuclear war with Russia. As part of the bravado, yeah. Well, let's talk briefly about the economy.
Yeah, let's do that. 1 minute break. We're going to come back for 5 minutes with you. But we're here laughing about it. It's gallows humor because it's tough. We want nuclear war. It's fun. Because they've got all the women, all the whores, all the money. These guys are like Hitler, who would sit there watching Warsaw burn. He would get up on the front line and watch from 5 miles away just because he liked watching buildings burn. He liked watching Stukas drop bombs.
Live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Okay, Dr. Paul Craig Roberts is our guest, best-selling author, syndicated columnist, father of Reaganomics. We got about 4.5 minutes. The economy, the meltdown accelerating, the Goldman Sachs emails where they knew that the economy was going to implode. They set up the derivative scam. We have them red-handed. Sir, where is this going?
Well, Alex, I think what we have is another criminal elite in charge of the financial sector. They're in charge of the Treasury, the Federal Reserve, and of course, the New York investment banks and the hedge funds. Now, think about this for a minute. Allegedly, the euro is collapsing because of the Greek debt. Now, that makes no sense whatsoever. Greece is a small country. Its debts could not possibly be a threat to the euro. So, but we hear about this constantly, over and over and over and over. And so it's propaganda coming out of the hedge funds. They're making a killing on it. If you can make the world think the euro is going to collapse, you can make all kind of money shorting the euro. And it's the same crowd of crooks that sold the derivatives and that sold junk with AAA investment ratings on it. And so that's what they're now doing. This whole thing about the euro is a scam run by the hedge funds, and they're getting rich off of it. Look, the most indebted country in the world is Japan. The second most indebted country is the United States. They're far worse conditions than Europe, and yet it's Europe that's in the news, and the euro is collapsing against the dollar. Why should anything collapse against the dollar? The dollar has massive trade deficit, massive budget deficits. They're unclosable. The government is indebted up to over its head. The population is indebted. It's a far worse situation than in Europe, and yet it's the euro. So what it really is, it's a play of the New York investment banks and the hedge funds against the euro. And they're getting rich off of it, just like they got rich off of derivatives. And
yeah, they looted us 2 years ago, and now they're looting Europe, and they're just like a group of carrion crows that fly around eating the flesh off our bones.
That's right. And the media doesn't ever explain it. They just provide the free propaganda that keeps the money running into the hedge funds and the New York investment banks.
Last night I was reading a manual, British Naval War College, documents on pirate accounts from the 16, 17, 1800s. And the way this elite behaves is kind of like pirates, where they just wildly wouldn't even pull the corks off whiskey bottles. They would just hack the tops off and, just drink it down. So there's a method to the madness, Doctor, but overall, do you agree that they're just complete out-of-control lunatics?
Yes, and in fact, I would even say pirates had more honor. So they're worse than pirates. And nothing is being done about it. You notice the regulation of the financial system, nothing happens. Or it's all watered down, or it's turned into something that enables them to plunder more.
Yeah, now they're going to take over all the little banks and track every purchase we make.
That's right. You'll see massive financial concentration, which is probably another reason for all this trouble. That's probably what they're trying to do, is to get rid of the large number of banks. So there's just a few large ones. It's the same thing they did to the media when they concentrated it in the hands of a few giant firms. So, but nobody is going to tell the people. The Congress isn't going to hold those kind of hearings, and the press is not going to do any investigation.
Well, Doc, good job on reporting on the huge breaking news of the POW cover-up, completely confirmed by a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist. We'll talk to you again soon, Lord willing. Thanks for spending time with us.
Glad to be with you, Alex.
It's always informative. Dr. Paul Craig Roberts. Ray McGovern coming up. We'll be right back.